Dude, I'm staring. I have Audacity open full screen right now, and I'm just staring at the levels. And I need to minimize this because it's gonna give me like some sort of disease. It feels crazy. Okay.
See, you did something like that. I literally pulled up, like, I have kaleidoscope shit going on my monitor right now, like from YouTube. Like, I'm just like, if I was on acid right now, I'd be so spaced out.
Damn, I should put like a fireplace, 10-hour fireplace loop.
Ooh,
That would be dope.
nice and warm.
Yeah, I think that would really set the vibe right now. I'm looking out the window. It's rainy. It's all wet. You can hear cars passing by because this mic is too good. God dang it.
Okay, on a real note, though, I felt pretty dirty walking out of Best Buy with this microphone.
Dirty.
Maybe just because this is like the basic ASMR starting microphone, and
No, it's not.
I watch. Yes, it is.
I mean, maybe, but it's all. I guarantee you, 90% of people buying a Blue Yeti are like, yeah, my son, he's 14. He wants to be a Fortnite streamer. Like, I don't know. It's really anyone that makes YouTube videos. They're like, okay, Blue Yeti.
That's true. I guess from my perspective, since I do watch a lot of ASMR, that's
Exposed. Okay.
yeah. You know, I don't even care. Like, it works for me. I like it. I fall asleep. I fall asleep to it almost every night.
Really? See, I've listened to it but only as like a meme. Not really a meme, but I have seen videos of it mostly through videos that are just like, look at this crazy, insane ASMR, like making fun of it almost. There was this one guy. Oh, dude, there was this one guy. It's like an old dude with a sick mustache. He's like real chubby, and he just eats food. And like he records it on a shit mic too. Like it's not even good ASMR, but he's just like
a built-in microphone on a really cheap laptop.
Yeah. Like it's not good ASMR, but he will just hold shit up and like he'll be eating like a Hot Pocket and just like, and like he just like does the weirdest shit. But it's just because he's old. He's probably like 70 years old, and he's like so genuine that like he has this fan base, and everyone like goes to him, even though it's super bad ASMR. It's just you know, just a good guy.
That's so weird.
You can't hate on him. He's a good guy. He's just trying to improve the world. You love to see it, you know.
Yeah, I listen to like This Will Put You to Sleep from like, I don't know. I don't really watch anyone like super, I guess, indie when it comes to ASMR. I watch like it's like mostly
mainstream
the
ASMR.
mainstream ASMR. If you can call it mainstream, I mean, it's already kind of a weird thing, but like of those that are into it.
I mean, like what is your favorite thing to fall asleep to?
So I like some tapping sounds, some mouth sounds. Whispering kind of depends on the night and also the person. There's this one guy, shout out to ASMRtica.
Ooh.
He is a Swedish guy who has probably the most relaxing voice I've ever heard. Really? So he speaks incredibly good English with this Swedish accent.
Mm-hmm.
And draws like maps of stuff. Like one of his more recent videos, he drew I forget exactly what some like doorway from Lord of the Rings.
Damn. Yeah, I think the visual aspect of it actually improves it a lot. Like now that you say that, I guess I do watch ASMR and I don't even realize it. Cuz there's this guy called Peter Draws on YouTube. And he'll review like pens. Like he mostly draws on like a white piece of paper. He draws with pens, like ink pens, whatever, dip pens. He's just like a pen connoisseur. But
I've heard of that guy.
I didn't realize it, but now that you say it, like the video is based on the drawing, so it'll be a top-down view. He's doing like some crazy drawing, but the whole time like he just will talk over it. And like he talks with like this super soft like, and he just rambles about like nothing. He just like will talk about the line he's drawing and then like just go off on this random tangent for 10 minutes while he's drawing. But it's like you just listen to it and it's good and people watch it. It got me, like I've been watching his videos and I actually enjoy them. So I guess that is like, it's like visual and sound ASMR. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard of that guy and I'll definitely have to watch more of his pen reviews because I listen to a podcast called The Pen Addict every now and then.
Nice. Are you a pen addict?
a little bit. I have
Yeah,
some
in
nice
high school,
pens.
you always used to have the dopest pencils, like the most.
No,
the coolest,
I've
like, mechanical
upgraded.
pencils.
Dude, I've got a pen right now. It's sold by a group called Studio Neat.
Ooh, that sounds expensive. Quality.
The body is milled out of a single piece of aluminum,
Really?
and it's Cerakoted.
Damn.
So it's got this nice ceramic coat on it, and it's a click button mechanism, and it is it's the entire mechanism is metal, so it's not some plastic piece of Chinese junk.
That's awesome.
It is like all milled out together, and it is so satisfying, and it is simple and stunning. And I have the black and copper edition, but I also think the white and copper edition is super, super good looking.
How much did that run you? On Amazon, you got it?
No, I got it from their website.
Oh, even better.
I don't know how much it costs, and I don't want to look it up right now. And I also don't want to say it on the podcast. But go to Studio Neat, studioneat.com. Look for the Mark I is the name of that pen.
I like that. I like that. You see, I've been, like, to me, maybe I've never, like, written with a super well-built pen, so I don't know. But to me, like, it's mostly the line, like, the drawing, how it feels, and, like, the consistency of the line. Like, I've been at work, and we have, like, branded pens for our work. And, like, everywhere you go to get a pen, like, they only have these pens, and they're all, like, feel so cheap, and the line is just inconsistent, and you can feel it, like, you know, like a ballpoint pen when the ink doesn't come out, and you can kind of just feel like it, like metal scraping almost.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I just hate that, and I've been looking for, like, months to find a pen that draws smoothly and just feels good. I just want, like, a G2, you know? Like, to me, the G2 is, like, top of the line that I've drawn with or used. And I can't find one. They don't have them anywhere.
In our supply cabinets at work, we have Pilot G2s all over the place.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I want one. I need to just go to the store and buy one and bring a pack to work for me, because the pens that they have there, I just hate them all.
Now, if you'd like to step it up one level a little higher.
Yes, recommend me a pen.
Retro 51 Tornado.
That sounds amazing.
They have all kinds of crazy designs. They are metal pens, all metal bodies. The ink cartridge in them is replaceable, and it is an amazing ink cartridge. It's got this super satisfying twist mechanism, and it's got this knurled piece of metal up top. They've got all kinds of crazy different designs. They've got some with words on them. They've got just basic colors and stuff. You can get black and blue ones.
That's
and the
amazing.
ink on all of them it's incredible. They're such good pens, and I was recommended to from the Pen Addict.
I can't believe you're a penman. Is that what they call pen connoisseurs? Penmen? Like,
I don't know, but they really should. I mean, next I'm going to end up buying like a quill or something.
I didn't know this about you. Now, speaking about you, we kind of started the podcast and just talked about pens, you know? Like, you think we should introduce
Pens and
ourselves? Because
ASMR.
no one knows. The Andrew Johnson that's going to be watching this doesn't know who we are or why we're here. So I think we should do a little intro here. So my name is Justin Alfano. I currently go to school at University of Cincinnati. We're both Ohio boys. The other guy is Kyle Ballas. You can say hello.
What up?
Kyle Ballas, okay. We both went to the same high school, Northeast Ohio, you know. Average town, good place. Grew up, and now all of our friend group, we go to different schools. We don't see each other that much, and I think this podcast is actually going to be sick just to sit down and have like a real conversation, you know. Like, we really don't get to talk to each other like this anymore, or like at all. Like, we only text in a group chat like every couple days.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we could get, well, I don't know, we can't have Eddie on as a guest.
I told him we were doing it, and he said, "Let me on." I was like, "Dude, you need the blue Yeti to be on, man. That's the minimum."
You can't really share a microphone. I mean, you could.
Yeah, he would
but
probably want to get his own setup.
And when I try to edit that podcast for Andrew, when he and Ethan were sharing that microphone, well, they weren't sharing a microphone so much as sharing a laptop.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sweaty Meat Boys.
Sweaty Meat Boys non-existent anymore. They tried, they failed. What are you gonna do? At least they tried.
I own that YouTube channel, so it's still up.
It's a YouTube channel. I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. I uploaded, I think, both of the episodes I recorded.
Wow. So if you want to hear a shit podcast, go check out Sweaty Meat Boys on YouTube.
And SoundCloud.
And SoundCloud. Okay. So yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer. This is my 4th year in school. Just been working, going to class, and that's about it. I feel like I have a pretty lame life, but I'm trying to get shit rolling here. I think there's a lot of things I need to improve on in my life. I started a YouTube channel about a year ago. Recently hit like 2,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just need to go harder in life in general. I think there's a lot of people that are just okay with going to school, getting by, and then graduating and working. And I want to, that's fine. And I too want to graduate and get a job and work, but I just want to have more stuff going on and more I'm a creator, I guess, which is kind of cliche to say, but I enjoy creating things. And I feel like if I'm not creating things, I'm kind of just wasting my time, I want to document my life somehow. But anyways, that was a little tangent. Kyle Ballas, you can go ahead and talk a little bit here.
So, as Justin said, we went to high school together. I currently go to Wright State University. I am taking a year off for an engineering co-op, and am currently living in Wisconsin right now. So I am very far away from the rest of the boys.
Damn.
That being said, go Buckeyes. They just kicked UW's ass so hard today.
They did. OSU, baby. That's the only thing Ohio people can say, man. Ohio State.
Yeah.
Let's go. Other than that, we had the Cavs one year. Indians, they're all right. They'll go to the World Series, lose 3-1, whatever.
Yeah. And then here, it's just so hard because they have the Packers, they have the Brewers, they have the Bucks.
Cheese balls. Let's go.
Yeah. And
it's a big-time sports place.
They're so good.
Yeah, it's funny. My manager at work is a huge Packers fan, and he actually goes to Wisconsin often and ice fishes. A lot of lakes up there.
Yeah, there are a lot of glacial lakes.
Yeah, it's a cool place. I've been there once, dead of winter, and it was a work trip, so I didn't really get to see it much. I was pretty much in a factory the whole time, but it was very scenic, just Oshkosh in general, just driving around. It seems like a cool place, but I don't know if there's too much going on there. I guess you could talk about that more because you've been living there.
Might I say you stopped by one of the factories at my company. But yeah, no, there's quite a lot of, there is stuff to do here. There's probably some more things to do if there's other people. Yeah.
Wait, is Milwaukee in where's Milwaukee?
Milwaukee's in Wisconsin.
Okay. I was like, wait, hold on.
I think the more interesting place to go, though, would be Madison.
Is that more of a lake, cool, outside nature place?
No, Madison is another town. That's where the biggest UW branch is, their main campus.
Oh, yeah.
But what I've heard it described is Milwaukee is a little big city, and Madison is a little big city. So
they're both little big cities.
Oh wait, no, Milwaukee is a little big city, and Madison is a big little city.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Now you're talking sense there, Val.
Tell you what, though, lots of bars in Wisconsin.
Cheese bars?
Beer bars. That's the other. That's the other.
I wish they had cheese bars. That'd be lit.
The other half of the essential equation for when it gets so cold with so much snow up here.
Yeah.
Actually, Wisconsin, we were talking about, has the most bars per capita in the U.S.
That's because there's a house every 3 miles there, isn't there?
Well, Oshkosh is 50 or 60,000 people, and Appleton, half an hour away from here, is 76,000 people or whatever. So there's quite a lot of people here. And there's a bunch of other cities closer to the size we grew up in, or some neighboring cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, the area I'm in anyway is pretty dense in the Fox Valley.
So I want to know, when I was in Oshkosh, I didn't really see much going on. Yeah, I mean, I was only there for a week, and it was a work trip, and whatever. But like you, being from Ohio, moving out to Wisconsin to Oshkosh for a year, it's like a whole year, right? Or is it like 2 semesters?
1 calendar year.
Wow. So, like, what have you done? Like, have you been bored? Like, when you first moved down there, you moved in. You kind of sit. You're like, okay, I'm here. I don't know anyone. Now what? Like what have you been doing?
I was a little bored, at least when the weather was bad, but otherwise I've been going up to some of the state parks around here. I've been looking up scenic driving routes, kind of throwing back to the road trip days.
Oh, yes. Good old cruise. Can't beat it.
A couple Sundays ago, I mean, I just jumped in the car and just went off in one direction, just took one state route and just kept following it for like an hour and a half.
Ended up in Montana.
That would be the ideal case. I thought about doing. So you remember how I made a joke a while ago, for those of you listening, that I went to this park in Ohio and it kind of looked like a really discount version of the Badlands in South Dakota.
Great value Badlands.
Yeah, great value Badlands. And I sent some snap stories or some snap videos to Justin and the guys saying that I took a day trip and just went up to South Dakota. And then I thought
you took all those pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so now that I'm in Wisconsin, I thought, why not go up there now? Because I'm that much further west, and I'm so much closer. I'm so much closer to South Dakota. Turns out it's still like a 10.5-hour drive.
Well, I wish I had a map in front of me, but it's Wisconsin is like the big on the lake there, right?
Yep.
That Lake Superior.
It's on the other side of Michigan from Lake Michigan.
Oh yeah. Superior's the north one, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So
Wisconsin is what connects to the UP.
Yeah. So you got Wisconsin, and then is South Dakota connected, like touching?
Minnesota's in between us.
The Gophers. Go Gophers.
And she's a wide boy.
Long and wide, baby.
Long and wide.
Yeah, that'd be quite the trip. But it'd be cool. I mean, you're up there. I feel like you got to take advantage of being up north, you know?
Yeah. I think the biggest problem I just have to take off 4 hours early on a Friday or whatever, which I can do pretty easily. And then just make sure I have an Airbnb and whatever hooked up.
Yeah. Speaking of Badlands, you know Badlands Chugs?
Who?
Badlands Chugs. He's
No.
a YouTube channel. Oh, you need to... Dude, do you hear that awful screeching sound? What is that?
I can hear it a little bit.
It's like blasting in my ears. I don't know what it is. But Badlands Chugs, he's a legend. I can't believe you haven't seen his YouTube stuff. You definitely look him up after this.
Okay.
He has a great channel. He chugs stuff. He's a big fat dude. Cool guy. He's really cool though.
This is starting to sound like those weird like challenge eating videos that my brother sends me all the time.
It sort of is. I mean, it's not really a challenge for him because he always devours it. You know, he destroys the challenge. But it's just cool. You know, it's cool to see him chug 8 Mountain Dew bottles, and you're like, geez, man. I feel bad for his pancreas or whatever.
Liver, stomach, brain, pretty much everything.
Blood system, health, you know? His health.
Overall.
For here.
His whole body.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. People that do that, like Matt Stoney. Phew. Do you know Matt Stoney? Come on.
No.
Bruh, what are you doing?
Not watching stupid-ass people eating insane quantities of whatever. I do enough of that myself.
So you need to make your own channel is what you're saying.
Nothing crazy enough to put on YouTube, just something crazy enough to make me feel horrible about myself.
Okay. So other than seeing nature, like, say it's a normal weekend. Sure, you get off Friday. You're working a lot too, but you get off, whatever.
I was
Have
working.
you met any people down there? Like, you do anything like social?
Yeah, I've done some social stuff. I started training jiu-jitsu per Joe Rogan and Jocko Willink.
Jocko, good guy.
Yeah. So I've been doing some training for that on weekends, mainly going to some seminars in the area. I've been going up with some of the other guys from the gym. And
I've been wanting to try that.
It's fun, dude.
And I don't know if it's like jiu-jitsu only. There's a lot of things I want to try just literally from like listening. I've started listening to a lot of podcasts recently, and it's like, dang, I really should be doing so much more.
Okay.
A lot of cool shit.
So let's get into this real quick. You just really got into podcasts. Like, you probably listened to them here and there, but recently you've really started to listen to them, right?
Well, yeah, I pretty much only listened to two. And like, I need to like figure out more, because what I do is like, obviously what got me into podcasts was Tiny Meat Gang,
TMG,
Cody Ko, Noel Miller, TMG. Those guys are just great. And they started their podcast, and I kind of like, since the beginning, I was listening to that on and off. And then sort of like every Thursday now, they drop a new one, and I'm like waiting for it. So they started me, and then I pretty much started seeing the Joe Rogan clips on YouTube. I'm sure they get recommended to everyone. But like his little clips from his podcast. So I started listening to that too. And I've been listening to it a lot at work just because I have the time. But yeah, like Joe Rogan has like influenced me a lot. Like, and even the past couple weeks, like, I just feel like it's a good thing to listen to kind of open up your mind on just life in general, and like all the things you could be doing, you know?
Yeah, totally. I've listened to Rogan for quite a while now. I've been listening to podcasts for a very long time, going all the way back to probably middle school.
What?
Where, yeah, I was watching, do you remember Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
I was watching their podcast way back in the day.
Wow.
So
Red and blue.
Red versus blue.
Yeah. Crazy. Classic Halo days.
Those were good days. Much better
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, for some reason, something hit me. I know you've always wanted to do a podcast, and like something hit me, and I was like, you know what? It'd be fun just to try. You know?
Keep the boys together.
Yeah, it's like another thing. I was listening to Joe Rogan recently. I think it's like the most recent episode actually right now, where he had like a movie producer on. I forget his name. Let me see if I can find it.
Brian Grazer or Grazer.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, he had him on, and Brian was just talking about like these things he does like once a week, because he was like really dyslexic or something when he was a kid and had a hard time in like social situations. So he does these like things every week where he just talks to interesting people, and like he'll set it up to meet some guy, like some Navy commander or something, and it'll take a year for them to meet, but when they meet, they'll just sit down and talk for 2 hours. And he doesn't like have a podcast or anything. He just does it to talk to people and like learn and like, I guess, express himself and like just be social. I don't know. I think it's a good thing, and it's something that I feel like I haven't done since high school. Is just like sitting down like we used to as friends. I mean, obviously when we get together, we'll do it. But like just sitting down and not really paying attention to social media and kind of blocking all that out and just being in the moment and just talking to people.
Bonding time.
Yeah, like I feel like I haven't done that since high school, really. Like I haven't made any like deep connections in college where I feel like I've done that.
We'll just sit down and talk until 5 a.m.
Yeah. And I feel like that's something that's cool about a podcast is like, even if no one's listening, like you just have to be present in the conversation and just have a real conversation. Because it's, even though right now we're talking over Discord and it's like we're not even to each other, like in the same room, but I don't know. I think it's just actually sitting down and talking and having a prolonged conversation and letting it run onto different topics. It's just a good social thing to practice and to do and to experience.
Yeah, and also I think we've known each other long enough where, even over Discord, voice only, that we can still pick up exactly the same as if we were in person.
Yeah, that's pretty true. But I think it would be really like that, man. I wish more than anything that like our core group of guys from high school would have went to the same school.
Yeah, we really should have thought about that better.
Everyone says like, I don't know. There's something about like, okay, so when you're going to college, obviously rooming with your friends, I'll take that as a no-go. Like, I think it's a better idea coming from a person who went to school. I actually roomed with one of my good friends from high school. We had like a big 4-person dorm freshman year. I think we would have made much more friends if I would have got a completely random room and he would have got a completely random room. And then we meet 3 of our own people. They know people. We meet friend groups, and then we can kind of bring them together because we know each other. And I mean, we signed up late for rooming, so we were kind of screwed. We had to room together, but I just wish we would have done that because we've pretty much like struggled hard to meet like friends in college. I'm just not good at that. I don't know what it is, but
You got to hit up that Bumble BFF.
maybe. I didn't know that was a thing. They got a friend program.
Yeah.
Damn, that's actually pretty sick. I got a 0% success rate anyways, so I'm sure it would be nice.
Although I will say for that mode, not super. It's not used for what they intend it to be.
It's still used for fucking, huh?
No, well, yes, but not in the way you think.
Huh?
It's
Okay.
it's mostly couples looking for another girl, usually
No
another
way.
girl. Yeah.
No way. That doesn't sound very friendly. I mean, maybe it is, but
Like I got some promotional thing or whatever and got like one day of like their premium thing. So I just went through all the people who liked me and almost all of them were couples looking for another girl. So my guess is they just opened the app and just started swiping right on everything.
I was about to say, you must be looking nice.
Yeah. I think the first picture of me honestly is like, I still have a buzz cut or whatever. It's like that picture of me up in the mountains when I was like 16. But it's still a good picture, and buzz cut aside, it looks pretty much like I do now.
Yeah, something about it, man. I don't know what it is, but I mean, would you say you're good? Like, I mean, I don't know. Wright State's a totally different dynamic, but do you have like a friend group there that you feel like you've connected with?
Yeah, my friends in my major, absolutely. And
So
also
you guys got a little thing going.
and my roommates as well, since I actually had a single dorm my freshman year, and
I feel
then
like that would suck.
it was nice though. Like I didn't have to like go to the library or anything to go study.
Yeah.
All I had to do was just get out of bed and sit at my desk.
Yeah, I mean I stayed in a suite style dorm anyways, but I wish that I wouldn't have. You know, like my floor was pretty much quad suites, and it was kind of like I don't know what it is, but when you get into the suites, people close their doors and they're just like one with their room. Like the thing about the normal dorms where everyone's crammed together and you have no room and everyone's just you can't study because something about that is just like it spawns social, like it's a social place. Everyone leaves their door open freshman year and you meet your entire floor. Like I know a bunch of people that had like friend groups that were literally like 15 people big because it was just like the 4 rooms around them. They all got to know each other because they just left their door open, and it was like the whole floor was a one room basically.
Unless you're Andrew and Daniel.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be willing to do that, and I don't know if their dorm was like that, but I'm thinking of a specific one. Daniel's in at University of Cincinnati is kind of known as like a social party dorm, I guess. It's not like as party of a place can get when you're a freshman year. I mean, I guess people could do cocaine and shit and die. You know, they could party for sure. But
I think
it's
probably
it's a
the
social
best.
dorm.
I think the best examples of what you're looking at is the honors dorm at Wright State. where they had different floors for different branches of majors. So like one was all like theater, dance, and music people.
Oh, yeah,
And
I'm
then
sure they all clicked real fast.
yeah, tell you what, that floor was wild. There's like there's instruments all over the place. There's people singing all over the place. There's
That's awesome though.
It was
That's
cool.
So sick.
Although
if I was into that, like, damn, that'd be like the Mecca. That'd be the greatest thing ever.
There are also a lot of stories about what went on after dark, but
Orgies?
so it
Is
goes.
that what you're saying? They had orgies?
Pretty much something like that.
That'd have been lit. But that's like that would be like going to a dorm of dudes that all ride bikes. I would be like, yes, let's go.
I think the best example of that, though, is the engineers that all had the same floor, and they were mostly mechanical and materials engineers, since that's what most of the engineers that are like, not that are social, but like that I was exposed to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know almost all of them, and especially the materials people, because there's so few of us, we're all pretty close. And then I also met just some other people in other various majors, computer science, theater, and one other guy who I think did psychology, but he ended up dropping out anyway. So, but I ended up rooming with those guys in an apartment my second and third year at school, and I thought it was going to be really fun because, like, hey, I liked hanging out with these guys. These guys were kind of fun to talk to. And then it was exactly what you said with the suite style stuff of everyone becomes one with their room.
Yeah. Kind of like closed off, get out.
Yeah.
This is my alone time.
Yeah. And it was pretty much all the time. And then they just, because they're all PC gamers, so they'd all PC Master Race. And so they just hop on Discord and play with each other. But they'd play with each other all like less than 15 feet away from each other, and it just, I mean, they were playing with other people too, other friends of theirs that they all met through various channels or whatever, but it just seems so strange to me that they're like almost having a LAN party without all the fun of an actual LAN party.
Yeah, I mean, games are crazy, like PC gaming in general. It's just wild, like how it can, like, what word am I trying to say? It'll like trap you, not really trap, but like you get submerged in it, Like it's 100%. It's a different world. You're there. You cannot even have any perception of time in real life, and you can just have a great time and not worry about anything. And it's like it seems like there's like so many positives to it, but then. For me, like I used to play a lot of games, and I played RuneScape too. And like freshman year, I got really into RuneScape. I've loved it since I was a kid, but I was playing it a lot freshman year, and I sort of started like, it kind of like made me woke about games, and I was like, I realized I was playing it because it gives you a sense of achievement, right? Like you go through you put so much time in, you finally get this goal you want. It gives you a sense of achievement, but then you turn off the computer and it's been 3 days and you've been sitting in your room the whole time. It's like a false sense of achievement. And at least for me, I realized like I would much rather be trying to achieve things in the world that we live in than on a virtual world, Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And I had the same thing with Minecraft a long time ago, like probably early high school, where I'd sit, and I'd build a massive house and this elaborate tunnel system and whatever else I wanted to build. And then I'd shut it off or I'm not playing it. And then I realized that I don't have any of that stuff and it's all wrapped up in this one thing. And that's like, I have an Xbox right now, but like I hardly ever use it at all. And if anything, it's more of a like YouTube and Netflix box. Yeah, a lot of people use it for that. But yeah, like I don't know what it was. I just kind of fell out of it. Like it's just that there's a lot. That's what I was saying earlier. Like a lot of people are just okay with going to school, putting in their time, graduating, and working. And if that's like you can play games all you want. As long as you go to class, you graduate, you can still go to work. There's tons of people now that are like 25 to even like 60 that play PC games, and they go to work 9 to 5 all day, and they just go home and game, and it's like life's good, you know. There's a lot of people are okay with that, and me, it's just I can't do it.
Yeah, no, that's something I can't do either. I mean, I probably because of all the podcasts and audiobooks that I've listened to, like just seeing how much is out there. I mean, God, if we didn't have audiobooks and podcasts and stuff with all these cool people on them, I don't know how I would have found this information. Yeah, because there's no way I would have physically read all of the books that I've listened to on audiobook.
Yeah. See, I need to get into books. I've been hearing a lot of people recommending books and stuff on podcasts, and I really want to get back into reading. But I want to read things that are beneficial, you know, like
yeah.
I don't know. Which it's cool, like the podcasts do recommend a lot of stuff, and it's kind of gotten me back into it. But I still haven't like sat down, read a book. So I need to get some books and start reading again. Just like get that learning back, you know. So something that I've actually been reading physically in the last little bit of time is a book from a YouTuber. It's all fiction. It's like a little anthology, so like it's a collection of short stories. And it's from this absolutely fantastic YouTube channel called Exerbia, EXBR or BUR1A. Wow.
Weird name, but this guy will make you, in the same video, he will make you laugh, he'll make you cry, have an existential crisis, and...
Is it like telling a story, like fiction?
Kind of. His videos kind of bounce back and forth between like really bright optimism for the future of humanity and also like super dark existential crises and basically just this feeling of like, why does anything matter at all whatsoever? So he's written down a whole bunch of these stories, not from the video, but just short stories that he's written up. And that is probably the closest I've gotten to getting really back into reading, but I read a whole bunch of them like in one night. Like I just sat there. Normally reading will put me to sleep, but I just kept reading and reading and reading, and I got through like half the thing in like an hour and a half.
Damn.
If you wanted to look up his channel and watch one video that will throw you for a loop, it's a video called "And Then It Will Be Okay." And the picture is like this.
It just sounds spooky. I don't know if I want to get spooked like this.
Justin, you need to watch this video. It's called "And Then It'll Be Okay." The picture, or like the thumbnail for the video is like it's a snake.
Okay, I got it. I'm not gonna watch it. I'll watch it after.
Okay.
I should watch it on the podcast. Just 10 minutes of silence. 20 minutes, damn.
20 minutes, yeah. When I saw that video for the first time, I pretty much just sat in my chair for like another 20 minutes, just sitting there and contemplating.
Thinking.
And then I watched it again.
But is it good contemplating or bad contemplating?
A little bit of both.
Like, are you like, what am I doing here? Why? Like that? I don't know if I like that.
It didn't make me depressed or sad in any way. I mean, you kind of get some points like that in the story. Most of his videos are like fairly factual, and there's a lot of like sciencey type jokes and whatever. But this is like a pure short story written as a standalone video.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And then we'll be okay. Since I've been listening to like a lot of Joe Rogan recently, like he's just like an inspiring guy, you know? And like a lot of the guests he has on are just inspiring.
I don't know how he finds all these people.
And the weirdest thing is like most of the people he has on, he's like best friends with. Like he's friends with so many people. It's crazy. And they're all like insanely interesting. They're like the most powerful friend group in the world.
One of his more recent guests, I forget who exactly it was saying it was when he had Chris Ryan on recently, Dr. Chris Ryan, he was saying how when he has conversations with people on his podcasts, tangentially speaking, that he'll just get people to explain their story, especially people that have never been on a podcast before. And they just start telling their story. And he's had people cry on his podcast because they've always thought of themselves as average or boring or whatever. But then you start telling your story to someone else and you realize that you're actually a lot more interesting than you think you are.
Yeah.
And have seen a lot more things than other people just haven't.
Well, he must have some interesting guests on, because I would probably sound pretty normal on there.
I don't know.
Unless he'd make me cry. You think he'd make me cry?
Well, I mean, start telling your story. See how things are from your perspective that only you see.
See, I feel like my story, like I don't even know where to start, you know? Like, could you literally just sit down and tell your life story?
Pretty much.
Like, I just feel like I could explain like where I grew up and where I went to school, and then I played baseball, and I don't know what else I would really throw in there. I feel like only recently, where I've been doing this YouTube thing and kind of getting super into a hobby, like I feel like I found something. I ride dirt bikes, for those who don't know, and I have a YouTube channel called Two Stroke J. I make videos riding dirt bikes, doing wheelies. It's really fun for me, and it's one thing that I've found, the only thing that I've found where I really felt like I need to be doing this. Like, this is amazing. Like, do you have any hobbies like that where you're like fully committed and submerged in it, and you're just so interested and you want to do it all the time? You feel like you found like what you're here to do, you know?
Well, for now, it's recording the podcast. I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. Damn. And have tried to do it with Andrew Johnson before.
Fuck that guy. But
yeah, he's a little behind on the times as it is. But other than that, I mean, I actually found that I really enjoy the work that I'm doing right now.
Really?
So I've been doing it a lot, mostly because we've had a lot of work to be done, but also I really enjoy what I am doing.
Wow.
As a materials engineer, even though I'm just an intern right now.
See, that boggles my mind. Like, I'm so jealous of people that, like, in school, I try my best. Like, I really don't, though. That's the thing. I scrape by school, and I'm not going to lie, I don't put that much effort into it. And it's because I don't enjoy it, like, in the least bit. I don't feel like I picked engineering because I needed something to go to college for. Because I wanted to go the safe route, you know? I didn't want to go out of high school and figure shit out. I was going to go to college. I was kind of determined. And I wanted to just pick something that I could get out and make decent money. And to me, like, being pretty smart, like, naturally, I sort of like science and physics a little bit. It was like, okay, I'll do mechanical engineering. It's like the most base engineering. I'll get out and I'll get a job that will make me money. But I don't think I'm ever going to enjoy like a full-time position as an engineer. I mean, I think there might be one or two spots in the entire United States that have something that I could do, and I'd be like, wow, I want to do this. But I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is. So, like, that's why I'm kind of pursuing these other things and putting time into other stuff, not like focusing 100% on school, is because there's so much other things that I'd rather be doing. I'm jealous of people like you that enjoy their school and their work.
Well, I didn't really enjoy school, and I am dreading going back to this final year. I'm only a little, like, 3 months into my internship, and I've already learned more in the last 3 months than I have in the last 2 years of being in school. So being in school, I was actually a little bit worried that I wasn't really going to enjoy the work that I was doing. I was interested in what I was learning, in that it was new and hard, and it was something that was interesting to see, like the physics of materials and those interactions and whatever. It was cool to learn about, but it wasn't like super exciting to me in a way of like, I know this is what I want to do. But actually getting to apply some of the knowledge that I have, as well as learning and finding out how much there is that they haven't taught me in school.
Oh, yeah. This is your first co-op, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that's made me feel better about my choice of profession and major in college.
For sure.
So now it's just the grind to get out of college, and then actually go do the real learning and applying in some real job somewhere.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I'm that first semester of co-op. I mean, it's definitely the first time you're in a full-time position as an engineer, and it's definitely exciting. Like I will say, like, or when you go to a new company, like those first couple months are like, oh, this is awesome, for the most part, unless you go to a shit company. But I don't know. Like to me, it gets so mundane and repetitive, and just going in. Even though like engineering is probably the best for that because you're not working a production line, you're not doing the same thing every day. You're tackling different problems, but just being in like a manufacturing environment where they do the same thing every day and you're just kind of working in that area. Just you see the same shit. You clock in at the same time. You leave at the same time. I don't know. I just can't. I really hope I don't have to do it for very long.
Well, that's where I think our branches of engineering differ. So I see different stuff all the time. It may be like I'm still, in some ways, I'm doing the same things, like the same preparation methods and the same analyses. But in reality, I'm looking at different parts all the time. So I work for a truck manufacturer. So I could see all kinds of different parts, different materials, different failure
but that's
mechanics,
the thing about
different failed parts.
That's the thing about the first couple months of a co-op. Because, look, you work on a truck. You see these parts. Okay, this part broke this way. Why did that happen? In 10 years, you're going to know every single part, inside and out. You're going to know stuff like it. To me, it gets old. Maybe it won't to you. But like I don't look at the same thing every day either. Like I'm doing different projects all the time, and there's new stuff happening. But it's just the fact that I'm at the same job doing like it's a different problem, but it's the same outcome. You know, you're just trying to solve the problem. Okay, like I don't know. Especially right now, I'm in process engineering. If it was an R&D position, I think that's like the main thing that I'd be interested in is R&D. Kind of like designing new products and hands-on stuff. But even then, it's just, I don't know. I just don't enjoy it. It gets old fast for me.
Well, I guess I should say that I am involved in some R&D stuff. So I get to see that half of it as well. And I also get to, we have so many different trucks and truck types and platforms, so it'll be quite a while. I don't think anyone in the company has really seen all the parts of any one particular truck or platform.
Yeah.
And I know that each of our guys have different specialties. Like one, we have a guy who's specialized in non-ferrous metals, so like titanium, aluminum. We have another guy who does corrosion and coatings. And then another guy who does, all ferrous alloys. We have a welding expert. We have someone who's more well-versed in plastics and rubbers.
See, that's just...
So...
that's crazy to me. It sounds so cliche, but I want to, like... I don't want to do that. I want to travel. I guess it all comes down to me liking to create things. And create things that my imagination is thinking of. Like, I don't want to create something for a company to put on a truck, I want to create, like, God, I feel like I'm sounding so artsy, but I want to create art, No,
I get what you mean. It's kind of what I did with my photography page that I promise I will start picking up again soon. It's not that like I only want to work and do nothing else. Like I'm kind of doing that right now, but that's also just a little bit of a grind for some extra cash in the long run. And also because like I did an hour or two today at work, but that's because some necessary stuff had to happen, but that doesn't really matter. The main thing that I guess really what it comes down to is I also want to do that kind of stuff. I want to go see things and experience things. Maybe not so much create them, but at least like, I guess experience is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Where, you know, because I've seen some really cool places and found really cool things. Some planned trip or something, or some family vacation. And it also could just be like, you know, us going out and going, okay, what can we go find? And we just go do it and, you know, have great stories and whatever to come out of that.
Yeah. I think the answer is right in front of me. And like, when I really think about it, my whole life I've been in love with like cameras, and not so much photography, but video. Like videography to me is so cool. And I've been learning how to edit. I've gotten pretty good at editing. I bought a nice camera. I obviously just bought this Blue Yeti microphone. Hey. I spend all my money, not all of it. I spend most of my money on like creative outlets like that and things that I can use as a tool to just like make cool shit, you know? So I think what I need to do is pursue that as more of I mean, it's different when it becomes a career. Like if you're a videographer for a career and people pay you to do stuff. But I mean, in the end, it all comes down to money. But I think I would enjoy doing that for money a lot more than, say, going to an engineering facility every day.
Well, and I think that's why the YouTube channel is particularly good for you. I mean, yeah. YouTube's catchphrase or motto way back in the day was express yourself. For those of you that are actually old enough to remember that.
I don't know if I remember that. Talking 2008.
But at least, yeah, I remember that. I remember going to the YouTube homepage and it would say, you know, YouTube off to the side. It would say then express yourself.
Yeah.
But that's why I think this YouTube channel is, I mean, I can tell it's done a lot of good for you. You actually have something that you look forward to doing. And that's just generally a good thing to see in people, because there's a lot of people that, you know, that I've talked to for various reasons, and they identify as one particular thing, you know, oh, I do this, or there are people that are like, especially in college, that are like, oh, I like to party. Okay, what else do you do?
Yeah.
It's
just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm really lucky in that I found through motorcycles and dirt bikes, I found like the main interest of my life like really early. Like a lot of people don't find that until they're retired. So I'm glad I figured that out now, and like I understand it comes with like a ton of risk, but it's one of those things where I feel like I want to be doing it. I want to be doing it, and I think quitting would just be a huge disservice to myself. Like I really enjoy it.
Speaking of risk, how's your arm doing?
It's so on Sunday I was stunting. It's called stunting when you're take your dirt bike to the lot, basically a big shipping lot, and there's a lot of guys that just have bikes specifically for this. You just go out and do wheelies and tricks, whatever it is. It's risky maneuvers on a motor vehicle, okay? But it's something about it is just so fun, the progression and practice and challenge. And I don't know if it's the like the dangerousness of it or the risk, but that's not really what it is to me. But it's just like leveling up. You can feel yourself getting better, and it's cool to put that much effort into something and see results. I'm sure it's the same for weightlifting, jiu-jitsu, anything like that. It's cool to like just put time into it and improve. So I was doing that anyways. Got a little off topic. I was doing that and doing a wheelie. Gave it a little bit too much power. Went to hit the rear brake to bring it back down, and my rear brake got oil on it somehow. Bike went straight back, and I basically cheese grated my arm into the concrete for a couple feet. And there's a nice like chunk, probably a centimeter diameter circle, just out of my arm, went all the way down to the muscle. And I went to the ER. They said I was probably gonna have to get a skin graft, some surgery, cover it up, but turns out it's going to heal all right by itself, or they think it will. So I've just got to like update them on it, keep it wrapped up. But it's doing pretty good. It still stings.
Damn,
it hurts, but it's not that bad.
I didn't know you went to the ER about that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. And then I sent pictures to my parents and all my friends, and they were like, "Are you seriously not going to go? Like, you need to." And I went, and they really didn't do anything. So I probably would have been fine, but actually, they gave me a tetanus shot, which is important. I guess I could have got tetanus and died. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, but I think like one thing that's been really interesting me recently, again, coming from Joe Rogan, is like the hunting thing, the bow hunting. That to me is so cool.
I've been itching to get a bow. Like, I shoot when I can. I'm still trying to find a range I like around here, and I like that. Again, it's the thing of like I'm not great at it, but you know, I can hit a target, obviously.
Have you ever hunted?
And no, I haven't. But even just the practice of archery, let alone actually being able to hunt, because then that's a whole different thing with all the stalking and tracking and actually trying to find the animal. But just like the pursuit of archery is something that I've been interested in for a while, because I've shot bows before, but like, you know, 1 or 2 shots, and didn't realize that there's all this proper form and technique that goes into it.
Oh yeah.
That
apparently
just
it's like,
no one ever taught me.
Apparently it's like you need to practice every day.
Pretty much.
To be like to actually hunt. And it seems to me it's like so cool. First of all, I totally like agree. Like hunting like that is by far the best way to get your meat. Like you don't really think about it, but like the vegan thing, they have a point. Like the industrial farming of like the industrial meat industry is terrible, and I think we can all agree with that.
It's not super. I mean, it's not super healthy. It's not the best way to do it.
Well, I'm just thinking like in like humane, you know.
Oh,
like I'm not so much going towards health. I'm sure it's much healthier to eat wild elk, but like I'm just saying, like think of like it's by far the most humane way, even though you're literally killing this animal with an arrow, and like just that's insane that you can have that much connection with it, and the whole process of like hiding it. You have to hide your scent. Like you have to pay attention to wind patterns so that your scent doesn't blow down the wind 100 meters away, farther than that, and the animal will turn and get a whiff of you and bolt. Like that is so cool to me that people can be that covert to get that close to an animal and kill it with a bow and arrow. It's insane.
And that's what they were saying too, is, you know, with a rifle, you know, you can stand from 200 yards away and pick off an animal.
Quick scope.
Super easy.
Easy claps.
Exactly. But with a bow, I mean, even on a good shot, you know, to have a somewhat decent success rate, you have to be like 60 yards or less if you're pretty competent, maybe a little bit further if you're exceptional.
Yeah.
But that's like the farthest you really want to be. So you have to get that close. And then, so you know, of course, we don't know what it's really like. But like Joe said, you know, you get your heart beating in your chest, you know, and your adrenaline's pumping, and you're excited, and you're nervous, and you're tired, and you're ready to go. And you still need to remember all the training that you put in to get there.
Exactly.
To put that one shot in the right place to put that animal down with the most humane amount of, or in the most humane way possible.
Yeah. And to me, it just makes it so cool that you literally, I really want to do it. Like I want to get into it and do it. First of all, like having elk meat from Colorado would be the coolest thing ever. That would be wonderful to eat for a year. But just the process of like what it takes to actually get a kill, and it's just so cool. There's so much that goes into it. It's such a skill-based thing that it's like I want to do that. I think that's a thing I'm definitely going to pursue when I'm older.
And then there's also, the challenge of, we live in Ohio and Wisconsin where we're a couple 100 feet above sea level, and then you're going out to Colorado where, you're at 8,000 feet, 10,000 feet, even 5,000 feet, and you're chasing these animals who are, who have spent their entire lives at this elevation, running around in the mountains, in the forests, and we're not. I mean, we're basically,
I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the physical aspect of it. The whole thing is just so cool. I just can't. It blows my mind like how many variables there are that you have to think of and navigate in order to get this close to this wild animal that knows its primal instinct is to not die and to run from predators, and you're literally a predator trying to crack the code, weaving the lasers to try and get close enough to bing, pop it. Crazy.
Did you listen to the most recent episode of Rogan with Cameron Haynes?
Yeah.
Do you follow Cameron Haynes?
Like in general? No.
Or like, okay. No. When people say like he runs a marathon a day, like that's pretty much true.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. He just runs for like hours.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets up like super like he's like I don't know, he does something for the city of Eugene, Oregon or whatever where he lives. So he's just works a normal 40-hour job. But he gets up super early in the morning, goes and runs, I don't know, say 4 to 8 miles, and then goes to work, and then goes for a run at lunch, and then finishes his workday, comes home, shoots some arrows from his bow, and then goes running again.
That's wild.
And sometimes it's super late at night, sometimes it's in the evening. And he always makes these Instagram stories where he's just recording himself running. And I'm just sitting there, my fat ass sitting on the couch eating whatever I slept together for dinner. And I'm like, damn it, this guy is out here crushing it. He's like 40 something or whatever. And he's out there. And then after he's done with all that running, he'll then go and lift and do like these... we cringe about doing crazy supersets. He's doing hundreds of reps of the same movement.
No.
So, yeah, like he will go and like when they go and bench, they'll just like pick a weight and then they'll just do 100 reps. However many sets it takes, they will just go and not leave until they've done 100 reps or so of whatever movements they decide to do that day.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like he was talking about when he ran 100 miles.
Oh, those ultra marathons.
Like, man,
okay, so
that is so cool. And oh man, it's crazy.
The other guy, David Goggins.
Is he the dude that ran the 100 miles?
Yeah, he did something like that, but most recently he was in, I think it was in Utah. I think it was like the Moab 250. So it's a 250-mile race.
Jesus.
And he started out, was one of the front runners, and as often with some of the front runners, the trail markers fall off or get vandalized or whatever. He ended up running 15 miles off course, basically in the lead.
Wow.
And then, they found him, they got him all reconfigured, so he ran all the way back to get back on track and kept running. And then as he approached the end of the race, he had like 40 some miles left to go or whatever, and had some sort of medical problem that he had to go to the hospital. which disqualified him from officially finishing the race. But as soon as he got out of the hospital, he went right back to where he left. And even though the race had been over for a day or two, he went back and ran the rest of the way, all the way to where the finish line was.
Finish what you start. It's crazy.
And that guy, he has a very blunt way of motivating people. He's not nice about it in the slightest.
Call you
but
a bitch.
It
Call
is
you a little
so
bitch. Get off your
exactly
fat ass, bitch. Pussy.
But it is so effective at getting you motivated.
Well, that's like that's why I'm glad I've been listening to that podcast, because I'm not gonna lie, my room has been dirty forever, right? It's just always
Jordan Peterson, rule number 1, clean your room.
I know. That's what, like, you hear that and it's like, okay, I seriously am buying into the thing. And that was my number 1 goal. I actually made it my number 1 goal for this weekend, is to make my room super clean. Super clean. And I might even attempt to start trying to make my bed in the morning. Right now, my room is not clean. So maybe if we check in next week, it will be. And I will talk about it and see if there's been any change. But I feel like there's so many days, right, where I'm kind of jealous of you for this, because there's so many days where I wake up, and not really work days, but like my free days, I wake up and I just lay in bed. I'll wake up at like 9 o'clock and I'll just lay there and look at my phone, whatever, maybe watch a video on YouTube. And I just waste so much time, and I think about it every time I do it too. I'm like, why am I laying here? I could get up and be productive. Like I need to do something, but I just don't. And I don't know if it's because my room is dirty, if it's because I need more structure, and like, I don't know if it's mental toughness, but I think it's an aspect of mental toughness to where I need to say, get up and do shit.
You want to know my secret?
I do.
Because I'm just naturally a morning person, I just wake up super early, so I do all my laying around in bed and watching YouTube and just doing nothing whatsoever. I just do it so that by the time I wake up, like most people would be waking up anyway. Like this morning I woke up at like 4 o'clock, and then I just laid around, and then I got up and it's like, oh, it's like 7 o'clock. And
you got up at 5?
Now I still...
Or 6?
No, what? 7.
Oh. No, I'm saying, what time you said you got up and you laid around, and then you were like, oh, it's 7
Oh.
o'clock.
Yeah, I got up at 4.
Ah, okay. Wow, jeez.
I mean, so I just woke up at 4, and then I'm like,
No alarm?
Hey, it's 7. No, not on the weekends.
You just woke up at 4 without an alarm.
Yeah.
What time did you go to sleep?
10.
Okay. That's my other question. Is like, do you obviously don't have a huge problem waking up in the morning, right? And you wake up early.
Really.
Do you go to sleep at the same time every night?
I try to. Actually, recently I've gotten very protective of my sleep schedule, specifically after listening to the Matthew Walker podcasts. He's a sleep scientist, basically saying that, everyone says sleep is important, but I didn't realize how many different ways it could totally mess you up if you don't have sleep. Even waking up with like plus or minus an hour on your bedtime or wake up time can have huge health implications.
Yeah. Like I feel like that's huge, to just being able to wake up. Like it's happened to me before where like one of the first co-ops I did, I was super strict with it, and I went to sleep at like 10 o'clock every night, and I woke up at this time every morning. And it got to the point where on the weekends I did it, and I was able to wake up. Like on a Saturday, I didn't want to sleep in, I just woke up. And
sleeping in on weekends never really did anything for me. Like I never really could do it anyway. And then anytime I did, like just wake up at like 7 or whatever, and then just stay in bed until like 10, I felt like I felt like crap.
Exactly.
And I just couldn't do anything. and I felt like I just wasted the day.
Oh yeah.
So that's why, like, if I am up that early, I don't normally wake up at 4 o'clock. Usually I wake up a little bit later than that, like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So when I do wake up early like that, and the kind of wake up where like I know I'm not going back to sleep, then I'll basically just sit around, and it's like that is my designated time that I can just sit around and do nothing. But then after that, it's get up and go.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to be able to wake up and start getting shit done, because I have a lot of stuff that I want to do, and I realize I'm not working nearly hard enough to accomplish what I want to. With a lot of stuff. And it's like, especially YouTube.
Like with the YouTube channel?
Yeah, definitely. Like I need to be going 4 times as hard as I am to get where I want to be. Maybe even more.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to add to your channel?
I mean, it's just the fact of editing videos, getting better at editing, being more structured, and just releasing videos more frequently, mainly, is going to take the extra effort. Like, I don't think my videos and like what I'm good at recording. Like I'll record shit, but it's just the fact of, after you have these hundreds of hours of video, putting it into a system and editing it and putting it up on YouTube, that's what takes the time. And I enjoy doing it, but I just need to put in so much more time into it to get more videos out faster, make them better, whatever it is. I just need to do more.
It's also stuff like that where, at least how my interests line up, is I really enjoy systems and like seeing how systems like that work. So I'm really interested in, like, say you have, hours of content. How do you sort that? How do you arrange that? And then how do you use that to be able to make a final video? And how do you do that as efficiently as possible? Yeah. So there are podcasts and stuff that I listen to that almost exclusively talk about that kind of stuff. And that's where it's almost a vice after a certain point, where you want something so efficient, so precise, that you spend more time setting up the thing to help you instead of just like letting it help you. Yeah. You could have a system that's pretty good, and then you just want to make it better and better and better, and then all of a sudden you're putting more time into the system than you are the final product that system is designed to produce.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, editing videos and making videos, I don't think it's as much of a system. I mean, it's pretty much the same motions that I go through for every video. You record it, you put it into Sony Vegas, you chop the clips, you find what's good, and then you edit it all together. Like, it's not really, you can't get too much like faster at doing that. It's pretty constant. But to me, it's just putting the time in, because it takes so much time. No one who doesn't make videos like understands how difficult it is and how much time it is you have to put in to make like a quality video. And I mean, that's what I like about it, though, is you put in so much time. It makes me so excited when I get a video and I'm like, wow, I created this, and it's actually really good, and I enjoy it. It gives me so much joy. But like, I just need to put in more time. I'm not trying hard enough. And that goes with like multiple things in life, not just YouTube. I need to go harder in life in general.
And that's going to get harder too now that we're approaching winter.
Yeah. I mean, it might be easier just because I won't be out riding as much. I can edit more,
That's true.
Maybe make more like vlog type stuff, which is quicker to edit. But
right.
Like, it's my whole life. I have so many things that I feel like I've become mentally soft almost. Like in high school, I credit a lot. I suggest everyone plays sports in high school, because I feel like that taught me so much about like discipline, mental toughness, like all of that. Like, I don't know, do you feel the same way? You swam, I mean, it's even like stuff like jazz band is probably similar.
Yeah, no, like I definitely thought, or even now still think that I do better work when I'm constantly busy,
Oh
even
yeah.
if it's a bunch of like, it doesn't even have to be something physically demanding like working out or doing sports or anything like that. But like when you have a consistent schedule of things you have to do, so whether it's, like in high school for me, like I swam, but that was mostly only during the summer. But then I had jazz band and debate and all the other stuff that I was, honors student, all the AP and honors classes, all the stuff that we took. So that all kept me pretty busy. And I noticed if I had a semester or a year where I was taking less classes, I I would typically wouldn't do as good.
Yeah, you just become less
just
productive.
because just because I don't have that drive, because I know I have to keep moving forward, because there's always something coming next I have to get ready for and make sure I have the time to do.
For sure. And that's
In
why.
college, you pick up so much extra spare time
Oh yeah.
that you can sit around and go, "Oh, hey, I've already done my studying. I've got
Exactly.
my homework done, and now I can veg out for 5 hours."
Yeah. And that's what I wanted. I want to get the toughness to say no. This is 5 hours for this. This is 2 hours here in between these classes. I'm doing this instead of coming home and eating and watching YouTube for 2 hours.
And that's why like I really like putting stuff on my calendar.
Yeah.
Like as old person as this sounds, I like scheduling things out for myself.
No,
So
that's
even
huge.
if I don't
Organization
do
in
it,
general.
even if I don't do it, like I feel bad for not doing it.
Yeah. 'cause
Whereas
you're-
if I didn't write it down, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I just, sat around and, ate pizza and watched watched YouTube for a few hours instead of, damn, I just missed that appointment on my calendar because I'm an idiot and
Yeah.
I made a dumb decision.
Yeah, I'm a huge procrastinator. There's so many things I want to tackle. I've been telling myself I'm starting with the dirty room. I think that's going to help a lot. Clean my
And the
room.
better thing about cleaning your room is once it's clean, it's easy to keep clean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be a big change, but I got to do it. And back to like the mental toughness thing. The reason why I always enjoyed working out so much, which is why I feel like high school and baseball, lifting taught me about that mental toughness, is because there's nothing better than when you're doing an exercise, a core exercise, a lift, running, and you feel like you're gonna fail, right? Like you obviously want to fail. You don't want to. Your body is telling you stop. Your brain is telling you stop. Like I'm sure when you're doing a core exercise, say you're doing a plank, like that moment where you say your body's saying quit, and you just say no, I'm not quitting, and you just keep going, and you push through, and you hit that minute 30 that you set on the timer instead of going down at a minute 15, something like that. And it's just like, it's so much discipline, and it's such a good feeling, and being able to do that in like multiple aspects of life, not only running, planks, whatever it is, like just pushing through and like reaching your goal it's such a good feeling. And I feel like I've become soft, and I haven't done that in a long time. I'm too okay with failing.
The other thing I think that goes along with that is kind of what we were saying before, how we don't hang out as much as we used to. So like when we were all in town, we'd all go lifting, but it was a lot easier because we'd always all go together.
Oh yeah.
And it was that
motivation.
sense of, if you didn't go,
you'd get
we'd make
dogged.
fun of you. Yeah, you'd get dogged. And then if you did go, you didn't want to look like a bitch.
Oh yeah.
So you pushed through and always did the best you absolutely could. And that way, when you did fail, that means that you actually did hit some sort of limit, or you did really burn out.
Yeah.
Instead of, just saying, "Oh, well, it's getting kind of hard now, so I'm gonna stop. I'll do it again later."
Oh yeah. And see, that's one thing that I felt I was always good at, is even when I was alone, I could push myself through and kind of like do my best, my 100% best. But since those high school days and like my early college days, I haven't worked out in a long time, and I haven't gotten back in that schedule. And that's another thing where I just I need to be organized. I need to set it out. I need to say this time I'm going, and I need to start getting in that routine and just make it a routine. Because then again, like, that's the thing. I feel like I have so much I want to do, and right now I feel like I don't have enough time. But I realize a lot of my time I'm not optimizing it good, and I'm not like being 100% focused on things. I kind of will do something. I'll edit a video. I edit pretty much every night I get home from work, but I'll just be distracted the whole time, kind of like studying for a test. And I just don't put my all into it, and then I don't get too much done. And it's like I need to really push myself to focus, get more done, be more efficient, and while still getting time to go to the gym. And I need to start going to the gym more frequently on a schedule, stuff like that.
So something that helps me with that kind of stuff is like take like Sunday night or whatever, Monday morning, and just sit down and write out like a plan for the week. Like even if you know you can't go through it 100%, at least get it written down so Sunday's going to be, or Monday's going to be editing, Tuesday's going to be gym, Wednesday's going to be really heavy editing because I want to get a video out on Thursday. Thursday is then finalize and upload the video, and then Friday is go hit the gym again, Saturday is go to the lot, Sunday,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need to do that more, and once again, I just have it inside me. I feel like the catalyst for this. Not really the catalyst, but it's going to be the start of it, is when I clean my room this weekend. This podcast should be called Clean Your Damn Room.
I like it.
I don't know, man. It's just, I think I really need to flip the switch, and just go hard. Go harder. I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Kill your inner bitch.
Yes, exactly. That's why I love listening to guys like Jocko and just people like that military mindset and their training. They are literally machines, like in a good way. They are just so disciplined, so in tune with what they need to do, when they need to do it, how much time. Like, I don't know, they're just so optimized as human beings. They're like, it's so good to hear, and it's inspiring, and I want to be like that.
And they're all retired. Like, they don't have to be doing it anymore.
That's what makes it even more
But they
impressive.
choose to do it anyway.
Yeah. Wake up 5 a.m. Don't be a bitch. I'm up. Let's do it.
I'm
so
up.
sick,
I'm working out. And then, guess what? You get to see the sunrise. You wake up, you go running, you see the sunrise when you're at the top of the hill.
Yeah. That's like, it's really inspiring. And I felt inspired recently. And I really want to act on it and change,
Well, since we're coming up on November, maybe we should do a sober November, like Rogan Sober October.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I definitely,
and that could be.
I go out a decent amount. It's normal to go out for me once a weekend. It's semi-normal to go out twice a weekend. So, like, most of the time I'm going out once a weekend, and then it's like, it's not weird to go out twice. And I resent every time I go out. Every time. There's very few times I go out and I'm like, yep, that was awesome. There's a couple times, for me, it's like when all of us get back together.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was worth it. But most of the time, I just go out, I'm spending money, and I just feel like I'm wasting my time. And like the next day, going out, you wake up the next day, and you don't really feel good until 2 p.m. And it's just such a waste of time, such a waste of money. And it just goes back to that, like, optimizing. I feel like it's just such a waste, and I don't get that much from it. Some people do. I mean, some people enjoy it, and they feel like they get a lot out of it. But like, to me, it's kind of empty. Like, it's an empty feeling to go out, and I don't know, it doesn't fulfill me.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that with the right people, and it's a great time. Like, every time I go down to Cincinnati to visit you guys, or like go to Ohio State and we go out, like, I have a great time. But if it's just like, my roommates and we're all, sitting in watching movies or even just talking and just having some drinks or whatever, like, yeah, that's nice, but it's still like, it's just this feeling of like, there could be more than what we're doing right now. Like, we're having good conversation, but and then again, you wake up feeling the next day, you feel like crap. Even if you're not super hungover, you don't feel 100%, and you sit around, don't really do much, and then you do the same thing the next night.
Yeah.
And then
it's like,
you
why?
wake up Sunday.
Why?
And then now you have all the homework to do that you didn't do the last 2 days, and then now you don't have your Sunday to, go out and have fun or whatever, do something legitimate rather than, cramming for all the stuff that you didn't do already.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't really think I want to start with that. I think, so we're saying November, right? I think my November goal should be to get back in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be more in the spirit of Sober October, specifically what they're doing this year. Like, we're definitely not going to try and do what they did last year where they're, doing cardio for 5 hours a day. Like, that's too crazy. But like what they're doing this year is, you had to take a certain number of classes or whatever, read so many books, or read a book over 300 pages.
Yeah.
And then like do stuff that you've never done before. So even if we did something in the spirit of that, which is, keep your room clean, go to the gym, keep going on the videos, and maybe try something new every now and then.
Yeah.
Or get into
and
reading like you were talking about.
That's a lot to start with. Like, I'm setting it now. My November goal, well, I'm cleaning my room, first of all. My room's staying clean. That's a fact. That's not my goal. Yep. That's going to happen. But November, I mean, even November, but it's going to start probably tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to get like I'm going to probably write out a routine or like a schedule for how many times I should go a week. I'm not exactly sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just going to be, it's going to probably be like a Saturday, Sunday workout, and then maybe like 2 or 3 days during the week, I guess. 2 days. Because it's so much harder when you're working full time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get the problem of you get home and you're tired.
Yeah, but that's I feel like that's easily countered if you just don't sit down.
Yeah. If you go straight from work to whatever you're doing next,
don't even unlock your computer.
Then it's a lot easier. Yeah. Don't unlock your computer. Don't, depending on if your circumstances allow it, don't even like open your apartment.
Yeah.
Or your house.
I'm probably going to run home. Like, I'm going to have to come home, change. Or I could change. I mean, either way, I got to park. So I'm going to find street parking, run home, change, get a bite to eat probably. Little snack, and just run to the gym.
And you got to have that snack pre-made, because otherwise you're going to eat something you really don't need to.
Yeah, or it'll take too long to make or anything like that.
Yeah.
Run to the gym, work out, come home. And then at that point, it's 8:25. Take a shower. Okay. 8:45, 9 o'clock. Then I don't know. That's where I come to the thing. Is like, I guess if I use my other time, my other days that I'm off, and really go hard on the editing, then I can do it. Like,
that's why I like.
Go ahead.
That's why I like what Tim Kennedy said one time on Joe Rogan as well, which is something along the lines of, you always want to go to bed tired, like legitimately tired, like the kind
That's
of.
That's a good feeling. Like,
you're asleep.
I'm tired from doing. I did so much today.
Right, and like the kind of tired where like you fall asleep the second your head hits the pillow.
That's awesome. That's a good goal. Yeah, I mean, just like doing more. I don't know. Do you feel like you are doing everything that you like, that you want to be doing?
No, definitely. There's a lot of stuff that I want to be doing more of. I want to be going out and taking more pictures and seeing new places and, expanding on, that photography page that I started. And I think I'm going to start with that tomorrow. As I'm just going to grab my cat.
10/27/19. Mark it down. That is a monumental day. No, tomorrow. 27.
Oh, tomorrow. 27.
Monumental day. October 27th, 2019. Lives were changed. I'm flipping the switch. I said it. I'm flipping the switch. I'm waking up tomorrow on a Sunday, and I'm getting out of bed. Do you know how many times I've told myself, every single time, every night I go to sleep, I set my alarm, even for work. I'm like, okay, my alarm's going to go off, and I'm going to have the mental toughness to get up, turn it off, and start. Just to go take a shower. And every single time I get up, I put my alarm across the room, right? So I have to get up to go turn it off.
Right.
I get up, I go turn it off, I grab my phone, and I lay back down. So soft. It pisses me off every time, and it's annoying, but I do it every time. I make the decision. I'm out of bed. I already got up. I'm across the room. I make the decision to go back and lay down. And I hate it. It's so soft.
You know what alarm I have set? What tone I have?
What?
It's Jocko talking to me.
Yo, I might have to try that. Does he call you a pussy?
No, but he basically says something to the effect of, okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get out of bed. And he starts counting to 10.
That's awesome.
And he's like, okay, if you're out of bed, you can shut this off. You're ready to get up, get after it, and start the day.
That's amazing. Can you send me that?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely will. And Then he says, and if you're still in bed, he starts going through, he basically starts guilting you into getting up.
That's amazing. I'm hyped to use that. So good. I'm for sure going to use that. And I told myself that after we do this, I'm going to finish this video and it's going to come out tomorrow. Do you think I can do it?
The new video?
Yeah. I've been working on it for almost 2.5 weeks. And it's not that it's taken me that much time. I mean, it has taken me a lot of time, but it could have been out last weekend, but I just slacked and I'd made the decision to go out this night instead of putting more time into it, and I just wasn't 100% committed to it. So it needs to be out.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If it's not out tomorrow, you're going to get grilled on the next episode of the podcast.
Damn. 10/27. It's already a legendary day.
10/27.
Video's going to come out. I'm going to wake up to Jocko's voice. I'm going to go get it in the gym. Come home. Put in work. Simple.
And you can do the same thing for me. If there is not a post on Photos by Ballast tomorrow
10/27.
Tomorrow, 10/27, you can also grill me in the next episode of the podcast.
All right. I'm down. Honestly, how long have we been going for?
Hour and 40 minutes.
Damn. Are we going for a Joe Rogan 3-hour vibe or what are we going for here?
I don't care. We can go as long as we want.
Like this, I feel like this is a good amount of time,
Yeah.
I think it's a good amount of time, especially for us two not interesting guys to talk and hit multiple topics, see what we can do, and then you could probably chop this up so it's decent, it's filled with stuff. But I would really enjoy, I feel like this would be very fun with more of our friends.
I think the thing that really did it for me, at least time really seemed to fly by, is when I looked down and I saw 23 minutes. I was like, oh man, we're really getting through this thing. And then I look over again and we're at an hour and 10 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, we're flying through the time.
Yeah, that was solid. I definitely need to improve my my situation here because I'm on my laptop and I actually am sitting on my bed with my laptop and my microphone's on, like sitting on my keyboard of the laptop because I get better Wi-Fi connection on my bed instead of at my desk.
Yeah.
And I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm sitting at my desk watching these nice kaleidoscope montages on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm bending a weird way to get my mouth closer to the mic, and my back is hurting, and not the best vibe here. But it was definitely good. Like just sitting down for an hour and 40 minutes and just opening up, talking.
I dig it.
Like it. And we changed our lives. First episode of the podcast, we changed our lives. Flip the switch. Flip
that
the
should
damn
be
switch.
That should be the name
like
of the
that.
podcast. Flip the switch.
If we do that, we're gonna have to be committed to being like self-improvement
Junkies.
Yeah. Like I don't know what the direction of this is. Like I don't know if we're gonna be a meme. We're obviously not very funny, so probably not gonna be memes. But I mean, is it gonna be a joke podcast? Is it gonna be serious? Are we gonna be talking about Joe Rogan the whole time?
Well,
there's a podcast called the Joe Rogan Experience, and it's literally just there, so it comes up when you search Joe Rogan, and it's like the one underneath it. I've never listened to it, but I'm sure they just talk about Joe Rogan
That's
the whole
great.
time, and I feel like we're the Joe Rogan experience right now.
we're just vicariously living through everyone else on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Well, we're not vicariously living through them. We're going to implement their ways and live our own lives.
We are
We're gonna
ending
flip
the
switch.
vicariousness.
But yeah, we're flipping the switch, baby. But it's like, it's good to talk about because he has such interesting topics on there all the time. So that like, I don't know, we're just going to have to research more and find good topics of our own that we might be able
I've
to
got some
expand on.
ideas of stuff that I'm interested in, and that's going to have to be the secret for tuning in to next week or next month or
next week's episode of
next
Flip
week's
the Switch,
episode.
baby. All right. Flip the switch. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Let's do it.
10/27. Legendary day. Stay tuned. I'm going to wake up tomorrow to Jocko's voice. The switch has been flipped. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the first week of Flip the Switch podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Kyle Ballas and Justin Alfano signing off. 10/27. You know what it is. Flip the switch. We out, baby. Let's get it flipped.